bow our heads for a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come together tonight as a community and we say thank you for the blessings of 2014. We ask for your continued guidance and wisdom as we move forward into 2015. Father, we give you thanks for the opportunity to serve the community of Denville. Help us to be the leaders that your people need. Give us a united vision for this community and the ability to see it through. Renew us, Father, with the strength of your presence in our life and help us see your hand at work around us. Thank you for hearing our prayers and leading us each day. And I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Open public meeting notice. In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Sunshine Law, Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, approved October 21st, 1975, adequate notice for this meeting has been provided as follows. Notice of this meeting was sent to the citizen of Morris County, 3 other local newspapers, 2 radio stations, and the notice was posted on the bulletin board outside of the clerk's office as well as on the township's website. Please note this is a no-smoking facility, and at this time, please silence all cell phones. Thank you. Roll call. Mr. Gable?
Here.
Mr. Kuzer?
Here.
Mrs. Smith?
Here.
Mrs. Lyons is absent. Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Here.
Mr. Galinsky?
Here.
Mr. Scholar?
Here.
Also in attendance is Mayor Andes, Administrator Ward, and Township Attorney Jansen. Also with us tonight is Judge Smith. We have a number of dignitaries that called. Wish everybody Happy New Year. Senator Bucco will be is unable to make it, and he wishes everybody a Happy New Year. Freeholder Scapiccio and Freeholder Kirkus and Freeholder Lyons were unable to make it also, and also wish everybody a Happy New Year. At this time, I'd like to call for nominations for Council President.
I'd like to make a nomination for Councilman Chris Galinsky.
I second that.
I second it.
Any other nominations? Seeing no one, I close the nominations. I now call for a roll. For Councilman Galinsky as the new council president. Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Mr. Scollins.
Yes.
Mr. Gable.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzer.
Absolutely.
Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Galinsky.
Yes.
You can take your seat as council president. Raise your right hand. I, state your name,
I, Chris Galinsky,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank you, Kathy, and thank you to the residents of Ward 2 who've given me the opportunity and this privilege of serving our community. I'd also like to thank my fellow council members for their vote of confidence, and I'm particularly flattered to be selected by this group because they are so hardworking and so committed to the town. They work so hard every week in and out, whether it's their passion. I mean, we have different opinions, we have different passions. Maybe passionate about river cleanups or environmental sustainability or beautification or services for our seniors, but we all have different passions and we all work hard, so thank you very much. I'd like to thank my family, my wonderful wife who, without her patience, I could not do all that I do, and my son and daughter for their support throughout the years. Thank my parents for being exemplary role models. I look forward to working with our mayor, administrator, and township staff because I think they're the finest in Morris County. That should make our job easier. And I promise to do my best to serve the citizens of Denville with all my hard work that I can give and with always fiscal prudence. Now, on behalf of the entire council, I'd like to thank past president, Gene Fitzpatrick, for his leadership and dedication. I have two, when I think back on Gene's tenure, I have two particularly fond memories. And one batch of memories is being shoulder to shoulder with him in Buckenmeyer and working on flood mitigation and flood restoration efforts. That's been a lot of fun. And the second is his leadership through our robust clerk selection process that included several late night debates and searches throughout the state to make sure we had the best town clerk. And I'm glad we found the best one right here in Denver. So I think that these two examples are just many examples of many things that Gene did that will last for years to come. So Gene, on behalf of the council, I'd like to give you something. So, you know, I listened to Gene's first meeting as council president, and he was so excited that he would get a chance to play with the gavel cue, right? And he told you about that, and now he gets to take a gavel home with him. So Gene, if you come down for your gavel to go home. Gavel, okay. Yeah, but you can unscrew it from the back, all right?
Yeah, thank you, and congratulations to you. I really look forward to working with you as council president. I know you're going to do an outstanding job. You know, and now in retrospect, I don't know that I used that gavel enough. I think I had more opportunities, but maybe I could have hit it a little harder. It's been a great 2 years. I really want to thank this council and this administration. It's been a great 2 years. You know, I was writing a list of all the things I think over the last 2 years that we've accomplished, and it's really hard to keep it concise. But you know, everything from an initiative started by former council president before Councilman Kuzer with property maintenance, which is such a difficult issue, but we really debated it and discussed it so heavily and ended up with a plan that's a very sensitive area, but we came up with a plan that sort of a very safe and reasonable plan to help protect our property values, our residents, our environment, and we did that with extensive debate and of course working with the mayor and the administration. I know he's going to have plenty of things to run down from this last year that we've done, from the firehouse to the turf fields, and I greatly appreciate the amount that we've accomplished in flood mitigation efforts, from from all of us, physically helping, but as well the applications for grants, the small funding that we did ourselves, the studying that we did ourselves. So I do thank this administration and this council for, I think, what has been probably the most attention that matter has gotten, I think, in Denville. And we've it's not going to solve everything, but it really was tremendous. And another thing that I'm quite proud of, which I hope that this council continues on, and the administration as well as the public, and as well as store owners, is just recently at the end of this year, we started the initiatives to really revitalize the downtown and keep it competitive. And we looked at an option of going into the Main Street USA program, and I think we need to continue that. And that's not just us. Everybody really needs to adapt to what a competitive economy it's become, and that we're very fortunate that we've got the greatest downtown in this county, but we've got a mall in the next town with huge corporate stores that have budgets, marketing budgets the size of countries. And to compete with that, we've really got to not be complacent and completely really look at how we can keep revitalizing our downtown. And as well, we've got our neighboring towns that we're very proud of and we work with, but in a way there's nothing wrong with having a sibling rivalry with them. And you've got Booton is doing a great job with their downtown. We've got to keep up. So I hope this council will do that again. And again, as Councilman Galinsky stated, one of, I think, the proudest things for me was being able to preside over. It's sort of bittersweet in a way, because we said goodbye to a retiring township clerk from our town this year, Donna Costello. Over 30 years of service, of unbelievable knowledge and experience. But I was very proud to preside over a nearly 2-hour council meeting that was flooded with public comments from former employees, elected officials, residents, just complimenting and saying goodbye to her. And that was a tremendous thing, just personally, for me to see. It really just shows you what a great town we have. And then that next task was selecting a new township clerk, which we will swear in this evening. So thank you again, and I will tell you, Councilman Galinsky, because I know you will appreciate this, one of my really most personal things that I enjoyed as being the council president, I think you will, is just the pride to lead that Pledge of Allegiance every council meeting with all of our officials and our public. And also, you'll have many opportunities to present awards to our Eagle Scouts, our Boy Scouts, on behalf of this council. And that's something that you personally enjoy. So thank you. Good luck. Look forward to this year.
I'd like to take a minute and recognize Assemblyman Bucco, who's joined us tonight. Assemblyman, thanks for all your service. Now I'd like to open the public portion. If there are any members of the public who would like to address the council, please give me a signal to be recognized, and then come on up and state your name for the record. Seeing none, close the public portion. Now I'd like to invite our mayor, Andes, to give us his state of the municipality, please.
He's gonna get a cookie, he'll be fine.
That's special. That's special. That young man's being born up with community service in his blood.
Doesn't seem too happy about it.
Just a couple of things first before I begin. I'd like to acknowledge some of them who go here. I know you have a lot of meetings to go to tonight. This is other reorgs. First, I want to thank both you and your father, Senator Bucco, for always being there every time I need you. I pick up the phone, and you guys always answer it, and you do your best to come through for us, and you've been terrific while doing that. Thank you so much. The next thing I'd like to do is just thank the hardy people of Denville who came out tonight in 16-degree weather, and then apologize to the same group of people. I don't like to give long-winded speeches, but we did accomplish a lot tonight in the last 3 years, and we have a lot on the agenda for next year. And with that, I ask for your forgiveness in advance. Settle in. This is going to be a long one, but I thank you very much for being here tonight. And I hope everyone had a happy holiday season, and wish you all a healthy, happy, and prosperous New Year. I'd first like to congratulate outgoing Council President Gene Fitzpatrick. Over the last 2 years, Gene has displayed outstanding dedication and leadership. I look forward to working with our new Council President, Chris Galinsky, and I'm confident of a seamless transition. Although there have been varied opinions on our governing body, this Council continues to demonstrate that when elected officials work as a team, the people of Denville are served better. In order to operate the township properly and to provide quality services and programs, it takes 3 groups of people. I'd like to thank the entire team of elected and appointed officials for working together. Secondly, I'm very appreciative of our township staff, led by our Administrator Stephen Ward, and our department heads, and each of our employees who are hardworking and dedicated professionals. Thirdly, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude for many volunteers for their hard work and dedication to our community. It's their commitment that enables us to provide services to the community that we may not otherwise be able to afford. I respectfully request that the Council grant consent and advice and consent to the administration's professional and volunteer appointments by passing Resolution 15-09. Over the past 3 years, much of the township's attention and effort has been focused on rebuilding our community after Hurricane Irene, the October snowstorm, and Hurricane Sandy. These efforts include both rebuilding from the damage caused by the storms, as well as making our community better prepared for future weather events. In the last reorganization meetings, I spoke about the cardinal points of the administration and how it is going to seek the most cost-effective manner to accomplish these goals. Our first priority was rebuilding the valued firehouse. And what then the town was left without, a firehouse when Hurricane Irene destroyed the facility, rendering it unsafe for occupation by our volunteer firemen and our equipment. In November 2014, we marked the opening of the new firehouse, which is now occupied and fully operational. The township has applied to FEMA for reimbursement, which could cover as much as 75% of the $1 million it cost to build the new public safety facility. Our second priority is flood mitigation. Over the past 3 years, we received $3.1 million from FEMA, State Green Acre Funds, and the Morris County Open Space and Farmland Preservation Trust Fund to purchase 11 severely and repetitively flood-prone homes on Riverside Drive. During the last year, we purchased and demolished the last of these homes, and we returned the property to open space. Also, in November 2014, Denville Park Meadow was opened during a public dedication ceremony. We are searching for additional funding to purchase other contiguous, severely and repetitively flood-prone homes. With respect to flood mitigation, 2 state-of-the-art flat valves were installed in 2014 on the Denbrook drainage pipes, which will greatly improve flood protection in the southern part of the Denville Park neighborhood. We partnered with the Township, Rockwood Borough, and the County of Morris, and acted as the lead agency in applying for a state flood mitigation grant. The 3 towns received $231,000. Our share of the grant is going towards dredging sections of the Rockwood River. Work has already begun around the Pocono Road Bridge and will include dredging around the Diamond Spring Road Bridge. The township also received permission from the state to remove from the Rockwood River 2 of the 3 concrete-coated canal piers. 1 pier shall remain along with both abutments for historic preservation purposes. These piers, which become clogged with river debris during storm events, acts like a dam and exacerbate flooding on Diamond Spring Road and near St. Clair's Hospital. Work is anticipated to commence this spring. Over the past 3 years, members of the Denville River and Stream Committee have proven to be excellent stewards of our rivers. With sponsorship of St. Clair's Hospital and the help of hundreds of volunteers and the support of the DPW, they have semi-annually snagged the Rockaway River. By removing fallen trees, brush, tires, and other debris from the river, we keep the river flowing and healthy. Regularly snagging of the river is an essential task, and we must remain diligent in our stewardship of the river. The township has applied to the Army Corps of Engineering for funding for local inland flood control projects. The Army Corps of Engineering has preliminarily indicated that Denville is likely the next flood mitigation project to be funded in our district. If we are successful and the preliminary information we receive is correct, we could receive several $1 million in funds and services from the Army Corps. The township has developed a comprehensive flood mitigation plan. We will continue to fund and implement projects that are affordable and achievable, while we continue to apply for grants that will allow us to make more impactful strides on flood mitigation. We recognize that none of these measures will stop flooding if Mother Nature sends extremely heavy rains. However, each improvement we make will prevent flooding in lesser storms and reduce the level of flooding. The one lesson we learned from Hurricane Irene is that 1 inch of water can make the difference as to whether or not a home is lost. All of our flood mitigation activities are annually reported to FEMA as part of our participation in the CRS rating program. As our CRS rating improves, our residents receive direct discounts on their flood insurance. Excuse me. Downtown Denville is the focal point of our community. It's a gathering place. It gives our township so much of our identity. It's one of the characteristics that separates Denville from most Morris County municipalities. This became so evident when it was destroyed by Hurricane Irene, and our community came together to support it. Downtown has rebounded and is thriving once again. However, many of the businesses have not yet recovered from the financial losses by the hurricane. A prosperous downtown is important to every property owner in our municipality, because as our downtown goes, so do our property values. To help promote and improve commerce in our downtown, new parking regulations went into effect on 2nd Avenue, and municipal lots have been restriped to define the free long-term parking. A downtown Denville parking map, which highlights parking areas and time limitations, is included in the upcoming newsletter and will be available to the businesses for their patrons. The township is partnering with the Economic Development Committee and the Chamber of Commerce in joining Main Street New Jersey program. We believe Main Street New Jersey will help draw new businesses and create and deliver a unified downtown Denville brand. Denville was awarded a grant for $288,000 from the federal government for phase 1 of our downtown improvement projects. Once the funds are released by the Department of Transportation, we will begin phase 1 downtown streetscape improvements. The phase 1 improvements encompasses Broadway between Diamond Spring Road and 4th Avenue, where new curbs and decorative lighting will be installed. We have applied for additional funding from the federal government for phase 2 of the remaining portion of Broadway and phase 3 for Bloomfield Avenue. As competitive grants opportunities become available, we will apply for grants for 1st Avenue, Main Street, and Diamond Spring Road improvements. The township began our downtown improvements by replacing oversized and oddly shaped trees with ornamental palm and cherry trees. We replaced outdated and worn benches with new benches that will match the decorative period lighting to be installed. We believe our plan will add to the charm and character of our downtown, and we help our businesses, community, compete with malls and other area downtowns. Since 2012, the township has taken a new approach to our road paving process. We have developed a long-term road maintenance plan. The roads to be paved are now rated and selected scientifically. We have purchased the equipment to lay down crack sealant, which will help extend the useful life of the public roads in the township. Additionally, the DPW has aggressively repaired collapsed catch basins. New catch basins are installed on the streets that are to be resurfaced each year. And although catch basins will continue to collapse, especially after a harsh winter like last year, the DPW has done a remarkable job keeping the number of collapsed basins to a manageable number. The East Shore Wall, which serves to support the adjacent public roadway, had partially collapsed and was in need of repair. The township devised a plan with the cooperation of the Indian Lake community to repair it over several years. Last winter's extremely harsh weather took a toll on 2 sections of the wall, and thanks to the assistance from the DPW personnel for the demolition, we were able to complete the project 1 year ahead of schedule and well below our original budget. New ball fields have been needed in Denville to accommodate the ever-expanding local sports programs for some time. This was never more apparent than after Hurricane Irene, when 12 of our 19 fields were not usable for the entire season. Renovations to the veteran field facility on Zeke Road are underway and will be completed early in 2015. The project, which was funded through our local dedicated open space and recreation trust fund, includes enhancements to the dog park, lighting of an existing baseball and softball field, and the construction of a new multi-purpose rectangular turf field with lights. We received a community block grant in the amount of $68,000 for the renovations to our senior citizen center, including the purchase and installation of an emergency generator. Thanks to our DPW staff who performed much of the prep work, and the Denville Rotary, who generously donated the major kitchen appliances, we were able to replace the walls, the floors, the ceiling, and the entire kitchen. As the bathrooms were updated just a few years ago, our senior citizens now have a virtually brand new facility to enjoy. Furthermore, the installation of the emergency generator, the building can now be used by the community in the case of an emergency or natural disaster. We received state funding to install the infrastructure to have 5 traffic lights operated by generators during power outages, and to install a second generator to power more of the town hall. The Paths and Trails Committee made a presentation to the council to build a handicap accessible walkway around the main portion of the pond at Merrill Hebner Park. The council allocated $71,000 from a local dedicated open space and recreation trust fund. The project is expected to be completed by mid-2015. With $425,000 in grant from the state of New Jersey, Green Acres, and the County of Morris Open Space Fund, the township acquired 5-acre parcel off of the property off of Michael's Drive. As there is a notable lack of playgrounds in this part of our community, I'll be asking the council to fund a small playground for our local dedicated open space and recreation trust fund. My administration has been approached by many developers wishing zoning changes in order to build large apartment complexes on virgin land. On every count, we turned them away. In 2012, we were approached by JMF Properties, a developer who desired to build apartments on the site of the abandoned and blighted metal manufacturing building on Essex. The township approved the rezoning of the property to a rehabilitation zone, as well as the construction of 100 luxury apartments for several reasons. The metal manufacturing facility was empty for years, delinquent in taxes. A portion of the property contained contaminated soil, and the building has been severely vandalized. As part of the approved project, the developer knocked down the long abandoned building and addressed the contaminated soil. The project is walking distance to the train station, which should attract people who commute by train. The new complex will consist of 41-bedroom apartments and 62-bedroom apartments, which will limit the number of school-aged children. 15 units will be deemed affordable, which will help us meet our state-mandated code of affordable housing obligations. The developer will install a sewer line down Essex Lake Road, enabling the existing homes on Essex Lake Road connect to the public sewer system at a very low cost. The balance of the neighborhood will have the option to connect to sewers as part of a future sewer project if and when the vast majority of the neighbors request such a project. Approval of this project was not without some concerns from the neighboring residents. The inability to assess the neighborhood when a railroad crossing is closed due to a power outage or crack repair was a very legitimate concern. As part of the developer's agreement, the township was able to successfully negotiate an agreement where the builder will construct a gated emergency access road along the railroad tracks, connecting Estlin Lake Road to Lackawanna Avenue. Additionally, we negotiated with the town's council's approval a state-approved pilot program, which is payment in lieu of tax program. Where the developer pays taxes on the land and negotiated payment to the municipality for the first 5 years, which is aimed at promoting redevelopment of blighted or run-down areas. All payments under the pilot program are made to the township without obligation to either school district or county. Well, Freeholding Cabana. How are you tonight? Well, the guy just walked in. Glad to see you, Doug. Happy New Year. The efforts of the Green Sustainability Committee, the township earned its New Jersey Green Sustainability Bronze Level certification in November 2014. As a green sustainable community, the township is made eligible for certain grants, and in late December, we were notified that we were successful in our Sustainable Jersey grant application and awarded $10,000 to install a public electric car charging station in our downtown. The charging station will be installed in the Church Street parking lot. We hope to have this innovative project online in mid-2015. Administrator Stephen Ward, with the approval of the Town Council, finalized all collective negotiation agreements with both the DPW supervisors and the DPW Employees Association. All 5 of our collective bargaining units have contracts effective through 2017. There are several new projects on the horizon for 2015. Our township planner, Jason Kessler, has been preparing the groundwork to update the master plan, and that will be reviewed and approved by our planning board. The neighborhood around Morris County Vocational High School has met, and will begin fundraising to replace the playground that once was up at the Vocational High School on Fox Hill Road. The municipal building was built with an eye towards the future and ensuring adequate space for potential growth as our local government changes over time. Economic realities over the past 8 years has resulted in a net reduction in town hall staff, which has created a notable amount of unoccupied office space. It is my goal to maximize the potential of the building and benefit the taxpayers of Denville. As you may know, the Board of Education has been leasing office space for staff, and we have reopened discussions with the new school superintendent, who's with us here tonight, Steve Forte. Steve, thank you for coming, to potentially offer them a permanent home for all part of the Board of Education staff. This would be a win-win situation for all concerned, including the township, the board, the citizens who pay taxes to both Denville entities. Steve Forte is a Denville resident, and although he's only been our superintendent for 6 months, he has proved to be a great partner in providing joint services to our community. We worked closely on removing the election polls from Valley View School, bringing a New York Yankees baseball camp to our recreation program this summer, and are exploring several other time and cost-saving shared services to increase the efficiencies of the services both entities provide to our community. It's been 18 years since our community came together to raise funds and to build a community playground at Gardner Field. That playground is near to reaching its life expectancy, and therefore, I asked the Recreation Committee to begin the process of developing a plan and forming a committee for a new community-built playground at Gardner Field. Over the past several years, our biggest budget challenges have been the results of the net loss in tax rateables. In fact, the largest obstacle in the 2014 budget was the loss of $23 million in rateables, of which $22 million came from tax appeal of our single largest continue to seek new wrinkles that make sense to our community. In addition to the Essex Village project, sections of the industrial zone adjacent to Route 80 interchange off Green Pond Road near Morris Avenue has been rezoned to allow hotels. Furthermore, we look forward to the sale of St. Clair's Hospital to a nationally renowned for-profit corporation. In 2015, the township began a county-ordered property tax revaluation of all the properties in Denver. The revaluation will cost the township $482,285 and will begin this spring. There is information in the newsletter. You will receive more information as the year progresses. This administration has presented and will continue to present sound budgets to town council that ensure long-term stability for our township while we enable us to maintain the current high level of municipal services that you have come to expect. These budgets also allow for the effective implementation and completion of public improvement projects that will continue to make Denville the finest place to live, work, raise a family, and retire. Thank you, and may God continue to send His blessings to the people of Denville. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. It has certainly been a busy and productive year. Thank you for your leadership. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda resolutions. We have 20 resolutions on that part of the agenda. I will read them. Just a brief summary of each. At the end, I'll ask if anybody from the council or anybody from the public wants to remove them from the consent agenda. Resolution R 1501, resolution designating official newspaper for notices. Resolution R 1502, resolution designating the Township of Denville Municipal Council meeting dates for the year 2015. R 1503, resolution designating legal depositories for public monies. Resolution R 1504, resolution appointing assessment lien searchers for the year. Resolution R 1505, resolution appointing custodian of petty cash fund for the Recreation Department. R 1506, authorizing tax assessor to enter into tax appeal settlements on behalf of the Township of Denville. R 1507, establishing interest penalty charges on delinquent taxes. R 1508, resolution appointing municipal council liaison representatives to various committees, boards within the township. Here's one for many of you, resolution R 1509. Resolution extending advice and consent of the Township of Denville Municipal Council to the mayor's appointments to the township committees, boards, and commissions. R 1510, designating year 2015 Public Agency Compliance Officer to the Township of Denville. R 1511, resolution authorizing the award of a professional services contract for municipal attorney services. R 1512, resolution authorizing the award of a professional services contract for special legal counsel services. R 1513, award for professional services contract for special labor counsel services. R 1514, authorizing an EUS agreement for risk management consultant services. R 1515, resolution authorizing a contract for grant research and grant application consulting. R 1516, resolution appointing Catherine M. Bowditch as municipal clerk. Resolution R 1517, authorizing appointments to the Zoning Board of Adjustment. R 1518, resolution authorizing the award of a professional services contract for auditing services. R 1519, authorizing the award of professional service contract for municipal public defender. R 1520, authorizing the award of a professional services contract for bond counsel services. Would anybody from the public or the council like to remove any resolutions from the consent agenda?
And I'd like to make a motion to approve them all.
Second. Roll, please.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzer?
Yes.
Mr. Gable?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. Scollins?
Yes.
President Galinsky?
Yes. Next, we have two non-consent agenda resolutions. First one is Resolution R 15-21, resolution authorizing the temporary budget for the year 2015. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Roll, please.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Gable?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzer?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. Scollins?
Yes.
President Walensky?
Yes. Resolution R 15-22, resolution reappointing Kathleen Scollins as Register of Vital Statistics.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. Gable?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzer?
Yes.
Mr. Scollins?
Recuse.
President Walensky?
Yes. Next on the agenda, I'd like to invite Mayor Andes to administer the oath of allegiance to our new Township Municipal Clerk, Catherine M. Bowditch.
Like your family, Pat. First, I'd like to thank Kathy for all the great work she's done as an employee of the township in many, many departments. And she's done a wonderful job. She'll be on the town clerk and acting for the township. Township clerk. So Kathy, and did everything. I, Catherine Bowditch, do solemnly swear
I, Catherine Bowditch, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the government established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
I will impartially and justly perform
I will impartially and justly perform
all the duties of the office of municipal clerk
all the duties of the office of municipal clerk
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Well, please continue service to the township.
Congratulations, Kathy. Now, if you want to stay there, I think I'd like to ask you and Mayor Andes to administer the oath of allegiance to our Township Attorney, John Jansen.
Council President, I'd like to ask our judges who's on their list of appointments, Judge Smith, to come forward too, although he has to be sworn in by a judge, not going to be part of the ceremony.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand.
You should tell people.
I, state your name,
I, John Jansen,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United
Jensen and Judge Smith, you guys do a really diligent and thorough job keeping helping us keep this town running. Thank you very much. And lastly, I would like to ask Mayor Andes and Clerk Bowditch to administer the oath of allegiance to members of the Planning Board, the Board of Adjustment, and all other statutory appointees. So, Arlene, it's or any appointees, okay? So that's everybody else. And then when you're done, right, there'll be signed oaths of allegiance that we'd ask you to sign. They'll be up on these two tables at the end. So I'll leave it up to Kathy will do the oath, and then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, and then you can go up and sign the paper. So please stand and come on up.
Somebody come, they had on the Bible? One volunteer? So all volunteers, you said? All township volunteers?
All any members of the Board of Adjustment, Planning Board, Recreation. We have a whole list of, well, you guys all can come on up. I'm right there. Have to be, oh, darling, sorry about that.
How many hands can you put on the Bible?
I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. So help me God. I do further solemnly swear that I will impartially and justly perform all the duties of the office of wherever you are, according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
I'd like to thank all of you volunteers. Your dedicated and talented service really is what makes Denville the gym that it is. I mean, that list of accomplishments that the mayor read, yeah, he's a great leader, okay, and he's got a great staff. But we couldn't have done it without all of you, so thank you very much. I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn. So moved. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Have a good night.
I'm sorry.